I'm doing good.
All right, we got two. I hear another one. Why are you sideways, Sean?
Because it's better for the phone. I can turn it the other way. There's no stand for that.
Like, why?
There.
Okay, now we just need this other gentleman, and we are good to go. And I hope this new phone will.
What is that at the top?
Huh?
There's like an arrow
What's that
of
up there?
stars.
Microphone?
A
Yeah.
microphone?
That?
Oh, okay.
Tay's trying to be fancy.
No, it's not for
Yeah.
this. I use that for recording.
Other recording?
Peeps.
Like a drone microphone?
It's for recording my audiobooks.
Oh, okay.
All right, good deal. Everybody showed up. We are here just before 9, so we are good to go. Think everything is set. Hello, Mr. Northworthy. And I got a new phone just for this stuff. And it's actually too big
Fancy. He's fancy.
for the doggone stand.
I got a
already.
new phone, but it's not for this stuff. Because I have a life and I need a new phone.
LC,
That too, but mainly for you.
I haven't seen you in ages.
I know. I should tell you, congratulations on getting married again. I haven't seen you since any of that.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it's been a minute, right?
Doing big things. Congrats.
Always.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so we're going to kick off this little first live for our opposing perspectives. We're going to speak about who pays, the financial expectations in a relationship. Go ahead and get everybody introduced. Start with the person in the corner I see, Miss Michelle. Tell them who you are.
Hello, everybody. I am Michelle C., a.k.a. DJ Make a Move, the Jill of all trades. You can find me at kandidkissestv or at, what is it called? Michelle C. Make a Move on Instagram, too.
Yeah, only you know who you are. So, Sean.
We know who she is.
Get your life. Don't come for
We
me.
know who she is, too.
Tell them who you are, Sean.
I'm LaShondra Cordier, also known as Sean, and I'm one half of the Grownassdating podcast. So I'm glad to join you guys. You can follow me at grownassdating.com or Grownassdating on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
William.
Will Jordan. You can find me Renaissance Will 404. Let me just say my grades are doing terrible right now. They're popping way too much.
You look distinguished.
Man, this is not. It's not.
You had to lean in to see
It's not what I want. Anyway, but yeah, good to be here, man. I haven't seen you guys in ages, man.
I mean, I actually got to see that guy this weekend in person.
Exactly,
For
right?
the first time in a while.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
My feelings. I
I was
are
going to try
hurt.
to pull up
I didn't see it.
the versus battle, so, you know.
Trust me, Sean, it was a last minute situation.
Always a last minute situation, so shame on you. And that doesn't make me feel better. So carry on.
It's all good. So I want to actually hear from you first. What do you think about this paying situation? Because as soon as I brought it up to you, you already had some questions. And I'm Author Ronwalker for those that don't know. So writer, speaker, podcaster, apparently. A lot of other things. Politician, gonna run again this coming year, so y'all be ready for that. But Sean, what do you think as far as paying? I know you brought up some questions as far as marriage, because your first thing is, aren't you married? Don't you just pay?
First thing, I was like, why do you ask that question? Isn't that part of your lifestyle and your household? I think for me, my personal opinion is it depends. I think my personal perspective is I'm from the school of thought of if you invite somebody somewhere, and especially on a date, then it's your responsibility to pay. And I think that goes guy or girl. Now, will I judge you if we go on a date and you ask me for my card? Yes. But will I expect you to pay? No. Unless you're inviting me, in which case, which is most dates, you're inviting me out. So my expectation is that you are going to pay for that. But I think dating is an ongoing process. So what you do in your marriage and your relationships, like you share the responsibility. And so, like I said, if I plan a date for my man or I plan a date for somebody who I'm dating, then I will take care of that. If you've planned that date, I expect you to do it. And I think my ultimate thought about marriage was, how are you asking this question? But I'll let you answer it because that's your question.
I think it's true what you just said. Like, we just came back from eating. So we went and ate. I was like, okay, it was funny, though, because the waitress is like, together, And immediately my wife is like,
Do you see
"How
anybody else?
dare you disrespect?" But we left there. She saw the bill. She's like, "Oh, that's what we owe." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." She's like, "Well, I'll get dessert. So let's go somewhere. I'll pay for dessert or whatever." It's a shared responsibility. We already realize the money is ours.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
shared funds, right? Like you guys are sharing accounts.
So when you're married, everybody has their own situation. Everybody doesn't do it the way I do it. I'm gonna go to Will next. So it's like when we go out, to me, I don't care whether I'm spending it, whether I'm swiping my card or she's swiping her card. At the end of the day, it's our money. Because if I get somewhere, as she comes on, if I get somewhere and I don't have it and she does, I still got it. And it's vice versa. If you got it, I got it. So I don't care whose card is getting swiped. Wherever we go, it's our money being spent. But anyway, Will, what's your perspective?
Okay, so I'm gonna give a brief story on that, right? Because I'm a little back and forth on it, right? So I remember being 21, and I was dating this girl. I was dating this girl who was in law school, and she must have been like 20. Let's say she was like 25, 26. And she invites me to what's the spot in Atlanta where they give you like the meat that's like unlimited amount of meat?
Fogo de Chao,
right? So
yeah.
So at the time I'm super broke college student, right? Like I'm like beyond broke. I'm like, why are you asking me to go to this place, bro? Right? I'm like, yeah, it's like that, right? So I remember being there with her friends. They're all like lawyer friends and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yo, this joint is expensive. What's going on? And I remember this never happened to me before in my life. She gives me a wad of money under the table.
Wow.
Yeah, and I paid the bill, and it was.
She didn't want you to look bad.
Yeah, it was
right. She didn't want to embarrass you, right?
Yeah, it was a weird thing, but let me tell you, I definitely respected it though. I definitely respected the idea of her letting me be a man and not look like a broke little nigga in the spot, because I was already like hella young. Right. But it was like, I was like, I can be hella young and the broke nigga too. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is it goes back and forth. I mean, obviously when you're married, I think that, it boils down to what account is it coming out of, who's got the best points on their credit card today, right? But like when you're like dating though, I can tell you I have felt some type of way when a chick has paid for the date or even attempted to pay for the date, but she like dead serious about paying for the date. Like she's like, I got it. And I'm like, no, I got it. No, I got this. And I'm like, probably won't work out between us then.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you really are setting a precedent when you say I'm going to pay and I'm insistent about doing it. You know what I mean? Like, so I do think is if I invite you, I'm expected to fit the bill.
I was actually impressed by this one person. I really wasn't even dating her. This is hilarious because I just remember who the person was.
After you started the story?
Hold on. Let me go. She probably
because it's connected to you.
Okay.
That's what impressed me because I was really, I was trying to get back on the dating scene at that time.
Yeah.
And you were like, I know this person. And we went out and she paid for stuff. And I was like, oh my God, you're paying for this? She was like, yeah.
For the meal or paying for stuff?
It threw me completely off because I wasn't used to people paying for me. I was just used to always paying. And when she made that gesture, it just changed my whole perspective. And I started looking at her completely different, not in a negative way like you did, but in a really positive way. Like, you just met me and you're already willing to share responsibilities with me. Like that was the way I looked at it. Not that you were trying to take, to me, I know who I am. So you can step on me. You're not going to control me. You're not going to insult me. But it was impressive to me. Like, she was like, hey, I got my own money. I don't need yours. But we can share some situations together. So it impressed me. But anyway, Michelle?
What you got, Michelle?
I believe it depends on the relationship. Because if it's just a dating scenario and you're inviting me out, I agree with Sean. If you invited me out, then you should pay the ticket. But if I'm dating you and we've been in a relationship, I don't mind us taking turns paying for the dates. Like you don't always have to be on you, but don't leave me in the like the dummy mode. Like don't let's go to the movies. You be like, oh, I forgot my wallet. Like, come on, bro. You knew we was coming to the movies. Don't do that. But at least, you know, if we're gonna do it, let me know that I ain't got it right now. And if I still want to go, I'm like, all right, cool, I got it this time. So I don't mind sharing the responsibilities, but that's only if we're in a relationship. You're not gonna first date me and be like, let's go Dutch. No. Mm-mm.
I know a lot of guys that do the forget the wallet to test women, which maybe is why
Well, they can test me.
Suspicious of people. Yeah, I mean, I know some guys that like used to be like straight up like, I'm going to see how you're going to react, because how you react in a crisis, whatever it is, teaches you a lot about a person, which I always want to like throat punch them, because I'm like, that's not a way to do something, because it makes you, it's a bad first impression. If you can't take the time to think through, like Michelle said, having your wallet, having everything together, especially if it's a date that you're planning. Like, I also don't do guys who don't like to plan things. Like, if you want to, I expect maybe you to pay for the first date. And if I plan the second date, if there's going to be a second date, I offer like, hey, I'll cover that because I'm going to plan something. And I also typically like to do elaborate things. So I'm not going to expect you to have that level of funds to do some of those things. So I don't ever make that assumption of people.
I feel like you just tried to play me just now when you say I'm not expecting that. It wasn't even me, but I felt like you tried to play me just now.
But I know myself. Like I know what I like. Like I like nice things, and I like to have nice things, and I like experiences, and I will pay for experiences. And not everybody feels that way. Like that's not a personal thing. It's not about men. I think that's a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm not gonna pay that for this, and I'm like, well, I will. And if you want to come, let's leave at 10. So like, I think it depends. But yeah,
I hate when somebody's planning something super huge and then looks at me like, you got to that. No,
you did this.
You don't get the flight. You don't get the flight, no.
Like he said, like I'm planning according to my budget. So I don't care, married, dating, whatever. I'm planning according to my budget. You know, you can have a job, you can have a business. Things are up and down. You don't ever know. Like toward the first of the month, we ain't really gonna do a lot of elaborate stuff.
Bills are due.
You know? Exactly. The bills are due at the first of the month. Toward the middle of the month, when I see, you know, how my bills and everything have shaped out, you know, things might get different. That's how it used to be. I ain't like that now, but it used to be like, you know, God has been good. You know, that's all I can say. So, you know, we can do some things when we want to, but you can't expect somebody else to fund your fun.
No.
When women do that.
That's right. Which is why I don't. I plan to my budget. And my budget just happens to be good. God has been great.
Hey, look,
I do things that are fun for everybody.
In my 20s, man, my go-to place was Cafe Intermezzo.
Yeah. Oh, still a go-to place.
And we would do look. If I didn't know if I liked you, it would
just a coffee date.
So, because the coffee look all fancy, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like,
but still reasonably priced.
It's
still reasonably priced,
but it looks fancy, right? But then if I like you like a little bit more, I may do like, let's do some dessert. You know what I'm saying? That sound all extra. You know what I mean? Like some dessert. You know, some late night dessert. You know what I mean? You know.
Were you guiding the date through the date?
Say what?
Were you just guiding the date through the date, like evaluating every 5 minutes, deciding what it was
No. That's an internal dialogue. That's an internal dialogue.
Yeah, you got to know where you are, man. If y'all know if y'all feeling each other, man, don't be out here trying to ball out, man. Like, cause I've been in some bad days and spent $100 and been upset, like straight up. So
well, it also sets a precedent, right? Like if you start off the first date super lavish outside your budget, and then like the expectation is the next one's going to be just as nice. Like you gotta again plan to your budget, do it for you, and there's affordable ways to do that without it being. It can still be fancy and still within budget. Like,
but would you feel some type of way if a guy took you on like a coffee date? I mean, like, be real.
No, for me it's different because I don't drink coffee. So like coffee dates are already funny for me because I don't drink any coffee. And so people are like, you want to go for coffee? And I'm like, I'll go for a hot chocolate. Because I don't
There
do.
are tea or something like that. I don't like coffee like that either.
So,
As long as it's like a caramel macchiato, I can do something like that.
I can't
But
even do
yeah,
that.
not just
If
real
I can
coffee.
get like a tea or I'll go get a tea. Yeah, I think that's fine because I think that's a neutral ground. Like sometimes you don't want to go out on a date. Like you want to feel each other out before you get that far, especially in these times. I know you married people don't remember what that's like, but those up in these single streets.
Whatever,
Right. No,
whatever.
the only date that I don't like that people offer is when they say, "Well, let's go to the park." Like, depends on what we're doing on the park. Like, if we just taking a like stroll down the street at the park, I'm not. I'm good on that. Like, if you say a picnic at the park, I'm good with that.
maybe.
But I'm not just gonna just walk down. Like, I'm not running the track with you. Like, no, I can do that on my own time.
I'm not about to sweat on a date.
Right. I don't even have to change clothes. None of that.
Like, my thing is, if it's a date, I want to be cute on the date. I don't want to become okay. Let me get my gym shoes and no, like, give me a reason to dress up.
Oh,
But coffee, I think coffee's good. Food trucks, I've been to, like, somebody took me to like a food truck park and we just walked around and got snacks and talked. Like, that was cool. Like, I didn't have any problem with that. I think it's about the engagement with the person and like what you're willing to do. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. It's the quality of time that you're spending. And if it's good, it's good. If it isn't, you can have the worst date in the world and be in the most amazing restaurant and it still sucks. But you could have the best date and be at a McDonald's and be like, yeah, this was great. So I think it just depends on the company.
So speaking of McDonald's, what makes it too cheap?
I feel like I think there's some very distinct things here. Like,
If you don't let me supersize, that's
What you mean?
or like if you're bringing me to a place where there's a coupon involved, like
What you mean?
What about a Groupon?
Yeah,
not Groupon, like a coupon. Like,
I'm cool with
don't
Groupon.
let me know. Don't let me know that's what's happening.
Right.
I don't need to know that. Like, when it gets time to pay, don't be like, let me pull out my coupon. Here's my QR code. Scan it. Like, I don't need to know all that. Just handle it with the waitress when you get ready to handle it.
He's fiscally
Some of this comes down to the person.
Is
Like
it?
I said before, I've taken someone to McDonald's and she was just like overjoyed. Like, this is wonderful and you're paying. And I'm like, yeah, it's McDonald's. Like,
Did she wear jelly?
How old was she?
where's your box? No, she was younger, but she wasn't young.
Right.
She was probably like
Was she?
5 years younger. That's
Wait. You went to McDonald's on purpose? Like y'all wasn't just near a McDonald's?
Right.
That was intentional?
actually we had did something else already. So we were just going to get something to eat right quick.
Okay.
And I was like, you want to stop by McDonald's? You know, and she's like, okay, cool. I was like, I got you.
You got her a McFlurry, didn't you?
Oh God.
Did you let her order outside the dollar menu? Because she gets
No,
appetizers.
like, you can supersize. You can do whatever it's
whatever you
McDonald's.
want.
I can
Oh
afford.
wow, girl! Get whatever you want on the menu to everything.
I'm like, I'm gonna say
You get number 2 and a number 4.
Pie, crab.
I
Like,
did.
what you
I've
get?
done that before. Like, you can get 2 if you want. It's fun.
How you gonna get a pie
But
with super size?
you have to it has to be based on the person you're with. Like, you can't take someone to McDonald's and expect her to be impressed by that. Because like she said, she has a big budget. She has, like, you gotta evaluate that person. You can take
I can see
people
McDonald's after like a late night, like Cafe Intermezzo used to be the after night spot. Like when you went out and then there was nothing else open, and I can see the McDonald's in that scenario. Like you guys were still wanting to hang out, so you went and grabbed something else. But like I'm 20. I'm not 20, and I'm not dating 20-year-olds. I expect my partner or whoever's going to take me someplace where I can sit down, have a meal with a napkin in my
She
lap.
can sit down at McDonald's. She sat down right just now with her McFlurry and you got
Why
and
you gotta
cheese.
get a napkin?
So
though?
I mean,
They have night seats now, though. They've
I
upgraded.
mean, something close to that. At least let me sit at a table. Maybe it's an outdoor patio. Something where a server is gonna bring me my food, come back and check on me and refill my water. Like,
Look,
I don't need
I've had
a lot, but I don't need McDonald's.
Look, I've had a lot of dates at the dollar movie too.
Now that used to be the spot.
that's different though.
I've done that. You know what
The
I'm
drive
saying?
used to be a really fun place to do too. It's a really low threshold date. I used to love that.
That's for a whole other reason though.
I know.
Yeah.
But still fun.
The drive-in is a great place to go. I have gone to the drive-in with just friends. Like, it's just a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Haven't we gone to the drive-in?
No, we have not. No, we
Not you. I'm pointing at Michelle's box. I feel like
We've done probably a dollar movie, but not no drive movie.
we've always gone to dollar movies. But it's like the drive-in, you get 2 features. For one,
Yeah.
Yep. And you can talk in between. You can bring your own food, like a picnic.
Driving is
Sometimes they do
perfect for people like
classics.
Michelle that like to talk during the movies.
First of all, I
Perfect
don't
for
talk
people
to
like
movies
you.
all the time. It was, I said one sentence, and that was the new
One
movie
sentence the
talking.
first
We
15
talking
minutes, and then a whole
Exactly.
bunch of sentences after.
No, it was only one sentence.
Okay. Was it a
Michelle,
long
we've had whole
paragraph style,
conversations.
run-on sentence?
Exactly. They're just it's one broken sentence for a long time.
Michelle wants you to describe the movie that y'all are seeing together.
Right. She wants to actively talk before and after and during the date.
We done went to the Dollar movie before. Did I talk in the Dollar movie
She's
that
like,
time?
Every time.
who's he?
Every
I'm
time.
like, I don't know, Michelle.
No.
I'm looking at the movie too.
Exactly. Michelle will have a conversation with you and be texting. When they come on in the
Guess what?
beginning, like,
Don't
put
talk
your
back
phones
then.
away, they're talking to her.
Yeah.
They're always talking to her.
Hold on. You must be talking back because I wouldn't have nobody to talk to if you weren't listening. So you talking back.
This has gone left.
God, that's funny.
It
This has
doesn't
gone
take much.
left.
But
Lies you tell.
I will say this, though. I actually don't like going to the movies on a first date. I think that
You
that's actually
can't
one of the
get
worst
to
dates
know
possible
someone.
because you don't actually interact with each other until after or
Absolutely.
before.
I disagree.
So
Let me tell you why I disagree.
why?
So for the guy who is awkward, for the guy who is hard to carry on lengthy conversations, the movie is the perfect place because you go to a movie, you talk about the movie at dinner or whatever, and then you get to really see like natural reactions from what y'all just saw, like what she gathered from it, what you gathered from it. But sometimes guys are just nervous, just bringing the conversation out of thin air. So,
But there's so much more in between you can do. Like there's so many activities you can do that are in a movie. And then what if you pick a bad movie that doesn't have discussion points? Like if you want to go Avengers Endgame, like what we gonna talk about? Like it's over, nigga. Like
there's a lot of stuff.
And what if that's the only part of the date? What if the movie was it? You don't have a dinner after that.
That's if you go to a late movie.
You can't do that.
That's a late movie. You can't do that. That's when you cozy up at Cafe Intermezzo.
Exactly.
That's afterwards. That's the late spot. Yeah.
Like if I can't even enjoy a movie day with you, I'm definitely not gonna sit down and eat with you.
That's
really.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you can't have. I just think I don't think it's a good first date because I think there's less engagement. But I think there's so many other ways. Like now we have so many activities. Like you can go to a game spot. You can go play pool. You can go do there's so many things you can do. A sports bar. Like you go 1,000 different places and still not have to have the same level of like constant interaction.
I agree.
So let me tell you
bowling.
A date I took a woman on and it was terrible. I thought I was being fly and I took her to the High Museum.
You got to do Jazz Wednesdays.
It was whack. It was like we just were standing.
You have to like art.
You have to
like art.
You gotta be in the art. Late John was whack. It was like, yeah, this is another floor of pictures.
I mean, if it's a photo op, that's about all you can do is take pictures and
you have to know the person you're with. You cannot just take any old person to the museum. Just like you can't take just anybody to McDonald's. You can't take that McDonald's girl to the High Museum of Art.
No, absolutely not.
It's not
Probably
gonna work
not.
out with you.
Probably not.
And even with movies, I say you can pick a movie based on the person. Because hopefully if you're dating, you've talked a little bit beforehand. So you can kind of feel them out. I feel like that's a test of who you are and how much you know me. If you can pick a movie you think I like. But even if it goes bad, that's a good talking point. That movie sucked. Yeah, it did. You know? But if you think that movie was good and I think it sucked, see, right
we
there.
have a problem. We have a problem.
So if it's a really, really good first date, right?
Yeah.
The perfect dinner, the perfect creativity, but then he's like expecting you to go Dutch. Is it all of a sudden ruined?
It's no longer a date. If I'm Dutch, we're not dating anymore. It's over. It's not a date.
It's no longer a date. If I'm going to
like, nigga, you're my homie now.
Right. I wouldn't say that. We can just say friend, but it's no longer a date if you're asking me to go Dutch. And it depends on when you drop that bomb. Like if you're gonna start off the conversation with like, this is what I want us to do. I'm expecting you to pay for you. Like you can't be awkward and then at the end of everything be like, by the way, here's your check.
See, I've always told people it's a good way to enter that conversation. You're either going to call up someone and say, hey, I'd like to take you.
Right. I would like for you to join me.
if I say I'm going somewhere, you want to swing by? That is probably an indication that I'm not necessarily going to pay for you. So that opens that conversation. Hey, I'm thinking about going to the movies Tuesday. I mean, what you doing? Or you feel free to come by too.
Right.
Now, when you get there, I'm probably gonna say, you got money.
Meet me in the theater. I already be inside with her.
You would let her meet you at the movie theater and be like, you got
He shows up, he's like sitting in there already.
Well, nowadays you can't do that with the luxury movies.
Where you at? I'm on row seat.
Right.
That's a real easy way to have the conversation.
8E is open. 9E is also open. When you come here, go ahead and get 9E. You can be right next to me.
Now,
I'm in 9-8, by the way. You might want to get the one beside me.
Just so it
I messed up one time, and I went. I ended up doing Dutch, but I did it on accident because I didn't know it was a date.
What?
So what happened was the guy was like, "Hey, you want to go to the movies?" And I'm just thinking because I never looked at him in that manner, and I didn't know this was his attempt to asking me on a date. So he was like, "Hey, you want to go to the movies Friday?" I'm like, "All right, cool." So we go, and then when it got time for to pay, I was just like, "Yeah, let me get one for whatever movie," and I paid for mine. He was like, I would have got that. I was like, oh shit, now you now I'm thinking,
I would have. As soon as you went to say, hey, this is go ahead and give me a ticket for this, he should have said, oh wait, that's two. Let me get that. I'll take care of it. There shouldn't have been an accidental accident.
And that
shouldn't even happen.
That changes the interaction too. Now you all of a sudden you know it's a date too.
Right. He should have never even let it get that far if he really wanted to take you out.
When you said, hey, that was his opportunity.
To put that credit card there and be like, whoa, I need 2 seats together.
That wasn't an accident. Yeah, he kind of set that up. That was a blessing for him. Free date. But,
you gotta be quicker than that. Like, if I didn't know, because I mean, you have to. It's not like you said.
The way Michelle talks to the movies, it was a blessing.
Hey, you want to go to the movie? Let's go. So I'm looking like,
did you have dinner after?
Oh god.
No.
He talked.
What? You didn't get dinner after?
No, like when I realized it was a date, and then he did
not even Art Thomas. He couldn't even take you to Art Thomas. Remember when we used to do that after hours too? I used to watch Y'all remember Art Thomas?
What's Art Thomas?
It used to be the all-night breakfast spot. It's over by Cafe Intermezzo. It's off of Piedmont or Peachtree, I think.
When it slightly healthy or something like that over there?
Kinda. They had like vegan options back before that was cool. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah, we do waffle.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm bougie. That's fine.
Yeah. That's what I said. You have to know the person. I'm not calling Sean of like, hey, I really want to take you on a nice date.
Hey, I'm allergic to shellfish, man. So you can't be taking me to Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying?
Not even though the biscuits are delicious.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't know.
You'll die. Yeah, you don't want that.
Like other stuff, pasta and stuff.
No, I can't go in there. It's too strong.
No, shellfish allergies are pretty like closed throat, all kinds. Like you'll die quick.
Do you not
on a date is the ER. So.
Do you not remember I had shrimp fried rice at your house, Michelle, and Will almost died because I was sitting there. I think it was at Will's birthday party though.
Oh Lord, she tried to kill you on your birthday.
And he was like,
the scent of it makes you like.
Yeah.
Just the smell of it.
Yeah, he was just sitting there eating it. Yeah, it was strong to death. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember.
Almost killed him at his own birthday party.
Yeah,
listen,
that's how you know that the chick ain't for you. Like when she
shrimp fried rice. She's like, hey, I still love seafood though.
Look, this is how you know if you done pissed your wife off, she gonna make you some shrimp.
Exactly.
Look, she wants him to know she's mad. She don't want to kill him unless that insurance policy is good. But I don't know if it's that good.
Hit him with some fish oil or something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Just a little light. Just a little tippy.
I woke up and it was not with shrimp.
Just a little.
Oh my god. Have you ever actually forgot your wallet, Tay?
No. Well,
neither have I.
Yes, but I also keep cash on me.
Yeah, that's true.
So wherever I go, I don't want to tell the whole world my secrets, but normally, like my uncle raised me, he said, don't ever go nowhere without some money in your pocket or some money somewhere else. So like if you go somewhere, like I always keep cash somewhere. Because I don't know if I'm going to need cash for parking, cash for whatever. And yes, there has been a time where I've left a wallet or whatever, but I got to stash somewhere else. So I'm going to pull some cash. Like when I was little, I used to have money in my sock, Now that I'm a little grown, I have money in different places. Like might keep a 20 in the glove box or something, But I've never tried to make that an excuse. If I left the house and didn't have my wallet, like Sean said, it speaks to the character of a man. If you irresponsible enough to leave your stuff, bruh, you can't progress with a woman. You
don't got your shit together.
How you gonna take care of somebody else or invite somebody else in your dysfunctional world? If I left my wallet, I'm gonna let you know, hey, I didn't bring my wallet with me. Either I can run home and get it right quick, or we can do a little something else because I still got $20 on me. So we can just have a little light day.
Coffee date.
And
Have a coffee date.
Exactly.
The same is true of a man who.
Now, what if she come to you and say, "Yeah, go run home and go ahead and get that wallet."
I've done that.
Cash at me.
I've done that. I'll wait. I might if it's gonna be longer than 15 minutes, but I'll wait.
I mean, but you know what you're dealing with. See, all this when you're dating, when you're interacting with a person, all these are indicators of who you're dealing with. So you can have some women that are like, "Oh, you left your wallet, no problem, I got it." You have some that are like, "Oh, go ahead and get it, I'll wait." You know, you have to realize what you're dealing with. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's a negative or a positive. If you say, "Oh, I got it," that doesn't mean that I'm going to just be wowed by you, because you might be that type of woman that constantly gets taken advantage of.
Now, if we've at the McDonald's, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got it," but we know where else. I wait.
I'm logging on. You're never even on Instagram. What are you doing on here? But you have to use every interaction, I feel like, with a person to figure out how y'all fit together, if y'all fit together. Yeah. Because sometimes you don't even have to make it all the way to the date. I've had scenarios to where, stupidly, I let other people set up a date for me.
How does that work?
It don't.
Right. How does that work?
Was the most I ever spent on a date. Somebody else planned the date for me, and I think they planned the date.
You made bad choices.
Yeah, they planned the date that they would have loved to have.
Yeah.
They didn't plan according to my pockets. And I went there and I probably spent $300 on this first date with this girl. Never got to a second date.
Yeah. A lot of money out of pocket.
But I felt like I wasted so much money because every date to me is an investment in my future. So with that, I just made a really bad investment.
What did you?
Yeah.
Ruth Chris or something?
$300.
We started out at Twist. Y'all remember Twist? I don't think.
Yeah, they had that patio upstairs, the bar.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
So automatically, I knew I was in trouble when she got there and said, "Hey, you mind if I get drinks?" I was like, "Okay." And she said, "Top shelf." I was like, "What? What you mean?"
You want to jump her in?
I like her already.
I was like, "Top shelf."
Girl, I want to be her friend.
No,
Always top shelf.
This is a what do you have on tap situation.
No, they didn't have taps back then. I used to sell beer.
No, I was drinking water.
I have a
well, that's a choice.
Thank you. Well, I had a whole water. A huge one.
You should have told her, no drinks, water all around.
Exactly. That's
when you pull out I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'd prefer not to drink.
That should have been your go-to.
That's
really my thing. I don't want to be triggered.
I don't want it to be awkward, but like I'm in recovery right now.
I just hate Twist.
Where else did you go after Twist?
So after Twist, we went to Dave & Buster's.
Oh. Why didn't you just start at Dave & Buster's? You can get drinks there.
Remember, I didn't plan the date.
Okay. All right. Extra.
So we had Twist
together though. Twist doesn't go with Dave & Buster's. Like,
this is like an all-day event.
Who planned the date? She planned it, or somebody else planned it? A third party.
A third party, complete third party planned the date. But I mean,
why did you allow
that? Should never have happened.
This is horrible.
But it was crazy to me. But I think that person also planned according to what they felt like I'd like and what they felt like I would afford. Because
clearly not. If you it was outside your budget.
Just because you have money don't mean you like to spend it.
They didn't know exactly.
Did you go
and
to
that's what they didn't understand.
Did you go to dinner after Dave & Buster's?
No, I think we ate again at Dave & Buster's.
Again? Wait a minute. She got 2 meals?
2 meals. And
again.
No.
I like this woman. Not the person who planned your date, but the woman who went through the top shelf liquor, who's got the...
Hold on. Did she get it to
go
grown
man? Because that's like me. I love her.
I did, because I don't ever eat all my food. But it was fun. We had a good time. Honestly, I don't know what went wrong. I actually talked to her a little while ago.
Was it you?
With
Maybe it was you.
It just didn't work out. I was me. I'm awkward.
Were you mad every time the bill came?
Now you know
I don't
what?
think I let on it.
Now you know what? You know what I started doing though? I did start making women tip. I have done that. I have been on a date and spent a substantial amount of money. Let's say it's like $60 on the first date, which I think if you get $100, you were too much on the first date. We're too much.
You said 50 and Sean judged you, but go on.
I'm just
I
telling
did. I did. It's fine. It's okay. Why you gotta call me out? I already told y'all, bougie. It's okay.
If you get $100 on the first date, it's too much. It's too much. But if let's say the bill's $60, I expect you to come through with that tip. I'm just saying.
Now, what's a good tip for you though? What
If she tips less than 18%, is that a problem?
Because look, I'm judging you if you give him $5.
Exactly.
True.
So that's my
You didn't say how much you had to be.
That's different too, though, because nowadays people don't carry cash. So, like, me, like, that wouldn't work out well because I'd be like, well, you want me to put it on my card? Because I don't know how else I'm supposed to be tipping this lady. Because I don't carry cash. Now, I keep it in my car, like Tay. Sometimes I keep it in a bra. You know, we keep moving. But I don't typically
Now,
have
would you cash that
readily available.
Tip? Like I don't have the money, the loose singles on me, but I can cash up the tip.
I stopped doing that because I frequent the same places. So I don't like for someone I'm dating to under tip, and now they're looking at me crazy.
Yes.
Like,
We just had $100 bill and you left them $3.
Yes.
You know, now I can't come back in here and show my face. So I just handle.
Well, you got to give them $3 because we know somebody in the crew that might leave a quarter.
I don't leave a note.
That does not apply to me.
That's horrible.
But I think, Tay, to your point,
That nigga will put a whole round quarters, and if you don't fill up his drink, he taking a quarter.
Wow.
What's an appropriate amount of money to spend on the first date now?
that depends on the person you're going out with.
Yeah. According to Sean, you're probably gonna have to have at least $500.
No, I don't, that's not what I said. That is not what I said, and is not what I expect.
Oh my god!
But I think it depends on like I'm the kind of person like again I like food, I like nice things, I like going to nice places, I like wanting to get dressed up. So like there's a level of like expectation for me that you're gonna take me someplace that meets my interests. Mm-hmm. And that might be a show and a dinner. That might be, I mean, which again can be, you know, if you do it right, can be very affordable. But I'm not expecting like affordable.
What is that amount of money?
No comment.
No,
come on.
$500, like I said.
No.
You need to have at least $500.
This is what we need to know. A person of your stature, of your level, of your expectations. What do you expect?
So, I don't have expectations. I think that's the thing. Like I don't expect anybody to spend what I would spend. So that's the difference. Like I can have just as much fun doing all the things that you have mentioned or none of the things that you have mentioned and be just fine. I'd be actually okay. A lot of my first dates are like much smaller. It's kind of like that in the park scenario. Like I'm like, I'll meet you out someplace. Let's go walk the belt line or whatever, grab a beer. Like it doesn't have to be anything like massive, but like if I want to go out and you want to take me out so I dress up, there's an expectation that that's going to happen. That can be expensive.
I think at this, I think the older you get, the more your palate sort of changes, right? So
correct.
So me and my wife went to we went to Applebee's like maybe like 6 months ago. It was so bad. Like I couldn't even make it. Like I couldn't even make it like through it. I was like, first of all, this is disgusting in here.
Disgusting.
Like I was like, but I remember being like 23, 24. This was like a normal place for a date. Like it was a normal 2 for $20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they had specials. They had specials.
They did. But we went in there. I was like, yo, I'm about to throw up in here. Like this is
I think that's not just age, Will. That is success too. You've exposed yourself to better things. So now your palate is like, what are we doing? I don't want them sardines. I'm not going to eat this.
Exactly.
But when you were younger, there were certain things that you would eat because you didn't know any better. And now, like you said the other day, $100 dinners is a normal thing for you.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
$100 dinner, I could do that by myself. I could do $100 dinner by myself. I can go someplace nice, get a lot of drinks. That's half the bill right there. And then the garden room. Like I just went to the garden room recently. Like, by myself, my portion of that was $100. Like I do $100 dinners on my own. So like it's hard for me to be like,
but are you judging?
Well,
Are you judging
Well,
because he's not able to do that though?
no, I'm
So
not.
he's like,
Now, I'm not going to make somebody pay for something that I'm not willing to pay for.
so, but hold on,
Yeah.
both of y'all. If a dude is, let's say like he's I'm not gonna say like a trash man. We'll say like a teacher. Okay, let's say he's a teacher.
Damn.
Okay.
What?
We'll say he's a teacher. We
Interesting
say
thought.
he teaches
Yeah.
middle school, right? He has a good
Okay.
job, but it's not a whole lot of money, right? What's appropriate for him to spend on a first date? You know what he make. You know, it's probably not what you make. You know, so
I think 75 to
I feel
100
like you have to be
is
creative at that
reasonable
point then.
for a teacher.
so what?
Sean said 75 to
How
100.
much? What'd you say?
75 to 100 is reasonable on a first date in Atlanta. You're in Atlanta.
Hey, can you pull up first year teacher salary for
Well, he
What is it? Like, what, 30, 40,000?
it's probably like about
He don't got no savings. He don't.
Mid 30s to 40.
yeah, think like about 45,
So,
42,
okay,
something like that. Think about that.
Well, then he need to have
If
a
you go
conversation.
40, you're on the high end. Because, you know, Cynthia knows all these. She can basically rattle you off the starting salary of every county right now.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it's mid 30s on the low end, mid 40s on probably the upper end. So about 40,000 a year.
Can somebody in the can somebody hit
$75 to $100 for the date is not
Can somebody
bad.
hit
75 to $100 for a first date, in my opinion, is probably
Yeah.
high. I'm not
75
spending
to
that
100.
much on somebody I don't know
Years
yet.
old, 38 human years old, and if I'm going out with somebody who can't spend $75 on food
Didn't
for
say I
two
can't.
people,
I won't.
for two people,
Didn't say I can't.
are
I
you
won't.
living beyond your
That's
means?
the thing.
You don't have
You can't do that. That's the problem.
let's define the meal, okay?
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
So if drinks are involved, yes.
Drinks are
That's
involved.
going to raise that
Yeah.
ticket price.
I get that.
It's not a dry county. Drinks are
Okay.
involved.
All right. So, well, let's just say no drinks are involved, right?
Well, that's
What are we talking about just for food?
40 to 50?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But let's just, even with a teacher, when they get paid, they go out to eat. So, I mean, hell, if you can take yourself out there, you can take me out
You
to
can
eat.
go out with your friends to the club. You can go out. There's a lot of things that can cost you just as much money.
The ones that turn up more. They drink the most at the club and everything else. If you can afford all them drinks at the club, you can afford a meal for
But
me.
see, it's not always about what you can afford. Like I said, it's not that I can't. I won't.
Well, but that's
then you don't
an
need to
indicator too, because if you're not willing to put your best foot forward and show me a good time
You don't get
and
a date.
expose me to something that, I mean, even if it's trying a restaurant you haven't tried or do something creative, like if you're not willing to put effort into that, planning of that, and then financially cover that, then what does that say about the possibility we have as a relationship?
I step people. So we're gonna start low. I don't want to start you too high. We can't start at Twist and Dave and Buster's and all that, because then your expectation level is too high. We got to start low. We got to start with like a 2 for $20 situation. Then next
No, we
time,
You're not 20.
so
You're
now
30-something years old.
when we're 5 years
I'm
in
not
the
20 years
marriage,
old. I'm not going to Applebee's. I'm not doing a 2 for 20. I'm not doing
exactly Waffle House.
Waffle House is after we've had a few drinks at the club and we've gotten to know each other a little bit better. That's when you can take me to Waffle House. It's 24 hours. No. You can't,
3
if
years.
you can't take me someplace in the daylight
We need to be
in the
married
daylight
before we
hours
get real nice.
where other human beings are around, we can't do it.
Those pecan waffles be bomb though. I'm just trying to
Sure.
put you on.
That's the third, fourth date. We can talk about it on the fourth date.
Will, that's actually
Not the
where we
first.
ended up Saturday night.
Look, so
Not the first.
question. So this is a follow-up question. Are you okay with a dude saying like first date, come over to the crib and I'll cook you dinner? Are you cool with
I've
that?
had that happen.
Are you cool with that?
I've had that happen. But it was somebody that I knew already.
Right. I think
It wasn't like
the
a
only downside
stranger
of that,
inviting
it's not
to-
about finances, it's about safety. Like if I'm meeting you for the first time, the last place I'm going to go is your house. You could be a serial killer. Like, I don't think so. But if I know you and if there's, rapport, or there's people that know you or can vouch for that, I can say, yeah, I can do that. Because I can say, hey, so-and-so, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. If I don't come back, if I come up missing, he murdered me.
So maybe we could talk about that next week.
Being murdered by your ex?
Dating. Because we're gonna go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. It's already 9:42. But great talk. Go ahead, tell them who you are one more time, Michelle.
I am Michelle C, aka DJ Make a Move. You can find me on my podcast, Candid Kisses TV. That's KANDIDKISSESTV. And if you like this merchandise, you can order it at artistperiod.com.
Bingo. Will?
Oh, just Will Jordan. You can find me at Renaissance Will 404. How's your boy?
I'm going to have to talk to you about your intros because you start bringing yourself down. Will is one of the most gifted and talented people that I know. He can sell you anything, whether you want it or not. You're buying it that day because that's how good of a talker he is. He is Diddy. We always kind of call him the Diddy of the group. He's the manager type. He's the salesman. He can sell water to a well. He is that guy. So don't let him downplay himself. Go ahead, Sean. Tell him who you are.
Well, that was a lot of hype to follow. So,
No.
and I'm clearly the bougie one of the group. But LaShondra C, I'm one half of Grown Ass Dating. You can follow me at grownassdating.com or Grown Ass Dating on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And we actually talk about some of these things, including dating in your 30s, which apparently is something that needs to be discussed more here because 20-year-olds in Waffle House is the business, and that's not acceptable.
I want to be on that. I want to be on that talking about that. That's a good one.
Come on, we'll bring you. Anytime.
Yeah. You already know. If you don't, look me up. Amazon, go cop a book. If not, at least support the podcast that we're doing now. Opposing Perspectives. You're kind of getting the female side, the male side, the bougie side, the not so bougie side. But anyway, we'll see.
Did you say you got bougie? Come on, son.
Yeah, someday.
For sure.
But anyway, it's been real. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Thank you, everybody that's planning to watch. We'll be here Monday nights at 9. And y'all stick around because at 10, I'll be back live with these guys. So love y'all. Great talking to you guys. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
Peace.